Hi, my name is Anagrea, and today we're going to be talking about how I've been on social media for a year. It's been just over a year since I have been off of social media. I am basically a ghost right now. Being off of social media took the pressure off of having to take the perfect pictures or the need to document visiting the best places. I really just get to live for the sole purpose of my own enjoyment, and I no longer find myself seeking for the same external validation as I did before. It just feels good to truly say that I've been living for myself, because thinking about how others perceive me is no longer on my daily agenda anymore. Within the last year, after deleting everything, I had finally felt the freedom to just be, to just exist, to do something for myself without feeling the need to share it with others, but to truly not even have the thought of wasting a moment in time to take out my phone, especially if I felt it was better off experiencing with just my eyes alone. Life has felt more intimate this way, and new experiences feel more personal. But at this day and age, I would be lying if I said that I am 100% happier without social media. I'm happier without the comparison. I'm happier without the pressure of feeling like I'm behind in life or not as successful as someone else. I'm happier knowing that I do things for myself without needing the approval of others, that the life I'm living is aesthetic enough or impressive enough. I'm happier knowing my actual screen time is literally an hour a day most days. I'm happier knowing that my day is not really wasted scrolling through apps, and how I don't even have the urge to really use my phone for long periods of time. Being Gen Z, it's known for growing up in the age of technology, meaning we don't know life without technology, and social media seems like the primary way we socialize. So I'd say the hardest negative of staying off of social media has really made me feel lonely at times, disconnected, out of touch. I've talked to a couple of my friends who are still on social media, and they were saying that if they got off too, then they would feel like they would have no social life. And I was just like, yeah, I've been there for about a year now. And it's true, you don't really realize how much you rely on social media for your social life until it's all gone. I used to be the person that would post every little detail of their day. I was an oversharer. I was an overconsumer. I was not just living off of the opinions of other people. I was thriving off of them. I was easily influenced and realized that most of my opinions came off of influencers and not my own conscience. I was a social media addict. I think it's pretty safe to say that now. I've made a video of my 6 months off of social media, so go check that out after this video if you haven't already. I pretty much touch base on why I quit social media to begin with and how it initially affected me. So after all this, I guess the question for myself would be, do I ever see myself going back on social media? Okay, so I figured that we should go over some pros and cons. There's definitely some pros and there's definitely some cons. Let's start with some cons so that we can end on a good note. So cons, number one, you can feel isolated at times. So you go from 100+ people liking your images, commenting on your images, having input on your life, to basically nobody saying anything because you're not putting anything out. It's just you and a clunk of metal. Number two, you can feel irrelevant, and this is how I feel. Oh my gosh. When I tell you I feel so irrelevant, I feel irrelevant because when you're not putting anything out, there's nothing for anyone to go off of. Like, there's no new information. I have been off for so long, no one's probably even thinking about what I'm doing. So I don't know, I feel like that's more of like an insecurity, but again, this is the cons list, so it kind of goes, not necessarily that you don't matter, but to each their own, because I mean, it could feel like that at some point, like you're just a ghost. But I feel like you could only truly feel like that if you didn't have like a good inner circle or family and friends that love you and check on you. But I could imagine if you don't have that you can really feel that, because let's be real, social media gives you validation, especially when people are constantly giving you that instant gratification, that validation, that feeling of importance, or feeling of, oh, you did something cool, you did something worth watching, you did something interesting. You don't get any of that feedback, which kind of brings me into my next point, which is, oh my God, the lighting's changing. Okay, whatever. Which kind of brings me to my next point. You are constantly out of the loop. You're constantly out of the loop because you don't see any of the new information that people are sharing. You're not in on the online platform celebrations where someone posts like a huge milestone and everyone gets to comment and everyone gets to be in that big conversation of, oh wow, you did it, or oh wow, you're newly married, oh wow, you're newly single, oh wow, you're pregnant, oh wow, like, you know what I mean? You just don't know anything going on unless someone directly tells you. I wouldn't hold that against anyone because I know that it just makes more sense to just post something on an online platform for everyone to see, as opposed to taking the energy out of your time and day to individually message people. So it's nothing that I hold against anyone, but it's just like, you're not on those online platforms. You don't know what's going on. You're gonna feel out of the loop. And there's a fly, it's okay. Another thing is that you're not as stimulated as before. As we know, our phones give us dopamines. As we scroll, we get to literally experience like every single emotion, whether you see a funny TikTok that makes you laugh, or a sad video that makes you cry, or a really wholesome video that makes you happy. You're not getting any of that anymore. You just kind of have to create a life for yourself where you're still receiving dopamine. So like finding new hobbies with the extra time that you have now that you're not scrolling your phone, getting into things that make you feel good, maybe exercise. It's just so convenient for like a tiny device that can fit in your pocket to be something that keeps you from being bored. Your phone is just honestly such a good distraction, and when you don't have that distraction anymore, you lose that stimulation, and it's just takes a little bit getting used to. It's not super terrible, but I would just definitely recommend, if someone takes on this journey of getting off social media, that they just find something for themselves that makes them happy, because your phone will not be it. Another one is you're just so used to being off of your phone that you will forget the process of just documenting things for yourself. You will forget to take pictures of important events. You will forget to take out your phone to document something or a special memory. It's just a habit now, granted that you're no longer on your phone. You're no longer used to just pulling it out when you're bored, because there's nothing on your phone anymore. Unless you have games on your phone, which I feel like if you're gonna get off social media, you might as well delete the games off of your phone too. Like, I've never had games on my phone because that's storage and data that I'd rather use for my pictures and videos. Like, my husband and I literally went to New Zealand not too long ago, and I was so upset with myself because I didn't take as many pictures and videos that I would like to, just because I knew I wasn't gonna post on social media. So it was out of my head to take out my phone. But it was also cool because I got to experience things for myself and just for my eyes, where I just have them as memories. But I do wish that I could have looked back on my phone and been like, oh my God, do you remember when we went there? That was so cool. I really wish I remembered to do that, and it is what it is, but life happens. Okay, another one is that you will start feeling like you no longer relate to people, and I mean that in terms of like how people talk, like people's lingo. I don't think people realize, but like social media really influences the way that you speak, and you'll start to notice that within people. It took me forever to understand what the word riz meant because I wasn't used to hearing it. I just wasn't used to the word being thrown around, and I didn't have any context. Oh, there's a fly again. Hello. I didn't have any context of how to use the word or what the word meant. Does that make sense? I feel like that sounds a little bit like a stretch, but it's really how I feel. Like, honestly, that's really how I feel. I don't understand what people are saying nowadays. I can't even think of other ones. I really don't know. If there's any new lingo, go ahead and let me know down below, and let me know also what it means, because I literally can't think of any right now. When people reference TikToks, you don't know what's going on. You haven't seen a single viral video in over a year if you've been on social media for a year. You don't know what people are talking about. I have a friend where I love her so much. Hi, Dariana, if you ever come to watch this video. But she is so funny, and she literally references TikToks all the time, and she gets so frustrated with me because she'll do something and I won't laugh, and she'll be like, oh my God, it's from a TikTok. I'm like, oh, sorry, like I haven't seen it. But then it's kind of cool because then she will show me, and then I'll get to be able to laugh, and I get to experience that with her. But at the same time, it's like so funny because I'm like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. It kind of makes you feel like an old person that stays off technology, because you know, like how when social media like first came out and we had to like explain everything to people who weren't on it, you're that person now. You're the person that people have to explain things to. It's okay though. It is what it is. Which brings me to my next point. There will be times where you have to keep reminding people that you are off social media, and that's why you don't understand whatever you don't understand. So like a viral TikTok, new lingo, I'll be like, I don't know what that means, or I don't know what you're talking about, or like, I don't know what you're referencing. Like, I'm sorry, I've been off social media. Or like there's been times where people will say something to me, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know that. I'm so sorry, I've been off social media. It's not that I don't care about what's going on in your life, it's just I really don't know what's going on in your life because I've been off social media. Does that sound like a dumb reason? I feel like it kind of sounds like a dumb thing to say, but it's like so true. There will be times where people will forget, and I guess that kind of ties into like one of the first cons was that you feel irrelevant, because that does make you feel even more irrelevant when you don't know anything going on, because people are just so used to sharing things online. You're just like, oh, snap. Oops. Sorry. This kind of goes back into being out of the loop, but you miss the opportunity to be a part of people's big celebrations or milestones because people are so used to now just sharing that stuff on social media. I mean, of course, if you have close friends and they're having a baby, I would hope that they text you and let you know, maybe send you a picture of their sonogram or FaceTime you and let you know so that they could see your reaction. But a lot of times you don't really know who's just graduated school, or you don't know who's overcome something really tough unless they've shared it online and you've seen it. But that's just the norm nowadays. That's nothing that I would hold against anyone. That's just an observation. I'll be like, oh snap. But you're not part of the first wave of everyone being like really happy for that person. You're not included in that because you excluded yourself. So it's kind of your own fault if you're off social media. Not theirs. It's okay though. And my last con is that you become really detached. And it's kind of a sad con because you become so detached where, since you're taking yourself out of something that everyone uses, and it's just like the norm in our day and age, it's our norm in Generation Z, where like social media is where you socialize, you will start to realize who were your internet friends and who are your real friends, who is still checking up on you versus people who have completely forgot about your existence. And you will find who's actually in your real inner circle when you get offline, who actually takes the effort to stay involved with you, who takes the effort to check on you, who takes the effort to know your well-being because they love you, things like that. You'll start to realize that not every single person that you used to socialize with on social media was a real friend to you. Okay, now we're gonna go to the pros so that we can end on a good note. Number one, this is awesome. I think it's the best one. You stop caring what people think. And the reason you stop caring what people think is because I think you were so used to that need for validation. I mean, if you had this problem, because I had this problem, but that need for instant gratification or validation from other people, you don't get that anymore, so you just get used to not caring what people think. I mean, like, because you're not living for anyone else. You're truly living for yourself. You're not posing for anything. You're not faking anything for the gram. You're just living your life, and you realize that no one has an input on your life virtually anymore, and so you just kind of start doing whatever the fuck you want to do without thinking about how others may perceive it or having to hear what other people have to say about it. Does that make sense? Which brings me to my next point. So you don't care what other people think, and now you don't seek for validation anymore. And I think this is probably one of my biggest problems I didn't even know I had. It was so subconscious, where I didn't realize like how much I craved people liking my pictures, or how much I craved people commenting on my stuff, or how much I craved people's input. Because it's kind of like reminds you of like, remember when Instagram was like everyone saw everyone's likes? I cared about those. I'm not gonna lie. I honestly did care about those. That sounds so like superficial, but that's literally how it was for me, like deep down inside, where I would get like hurt if I posted something that I thought was like a good picture of me or something really cool, and if it didn't really receive the amount of likes that I wanted, then I would feel like I would literally feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, that wasn't cool enough. Oh, that wasn't impressive enough. Like, those would be the thoughts flowing through my head. And you don't feel like that anymore because you're no longer putting that energy out for people to judge. So yeah, I think that really helped me. I think that's like one of the biggest things that getting off social media helped me with is the validation. You're no longer seeking it, so you no longer really care for it, which is good. I love that one. Okay, and this is another one. If you were a phone addict, when you get off of social media, you may not be a phone addict anymore. And I think it helped me, and I think social media was like the main reason why I was constantly on my phone all the time. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. It's a really good plus. Another pro would be you don't waste your time scrolling on your phone anymore, so you have more time for activities, which kind of oh my god, that's a Step Brother reference.
So many aerobics in here, so many activities.
Unintentionally, I did not mean to do that. I love Step Brother. You have more time in your day. I feel like when I didn't have anything to do on my phone, then it kind of made me depressed, but then I had to realize, girl, like you just gotta get up and do something for yourself. Go to the gym, go play guitar, go journal, go read, go eat something healthy, like go do something like that. And I feel like once you get those productive habits down, you'll start to realize your phone really did take a lot of time out of your day. Okay, this one is probably my favorite one. You get to live your life knowing that it's for yourself. You're not posting anything to impress anyone. You're not trying to keep up with any social status. You're not trying to create an online version of yourself that only exists online. You just get to live for yourself. And I thought it was really cool because my husband and I, we really like to travel, and since I've been on social media, I haven't been posting any of my travels, and I thought it was just really cool because I got to go literally across the world and not tell a single soul besides our parents, because our parents had to watch our animals, but besides that, I thought it was just awesome. I was like, wow, we're really out here across the globe and not a single person literally knows. Like, you just know you're doing things not to flex on other people, but because you actually enjoy it, and you get like a sense of identity for yourself, if that makes sense, because it's like for you and it's not because you think it's cool for other people. Does that make sense? Okay, another pro is that being off of social media forces you to deepen your connections with people on a real, authentic, raw level, as opposed to just seeing them all the time on social media. You get to actually ask how people are doing, and you get to receive that information right then and there, as opposed to reading it on a screen. I have been able to really get to know some of my friends in ways that I didn't know before. So like Reiki, if you're watching this, I did not oh, there's a fly. So like Reiki, if you're watching this, I had no idea that you were such a big Swiftie, and I feel like I should have known that, and I felt like super bad because I was like, dude, like we've been friends for like five or 6 years by now, and I'm just like, how did I not know that you were a huge Swiftie? But now I know, and I know 15 more things about you that I didn't know before in the past, so I think that's super cool. Okay, this next pro is kind of like, shut up. But I've been like really into learning about feminine energy, and there's a whole bunch of information on it that you could probably search up on your own, but there is this sense of mystery. Like, you are a little mysterious. Like when you're off social media and you just tell people that, like if you meet someone new and they're like, oh, what's your socials? Oh, I don't have any. Right then and there, you're kind of mysterious already. And I think that's kind of cool. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a pro where like you can only see that as a good thing if you really dive into what feminine, like mysterious feminine energy is. I'm not gonna get into it because it's just like, I feel like I'm gonna butcher a lot of the facts, but I think it's really cool. You're just on your own vibe that no one can touch, and no one can tell you what to do about it because it's your choice. I don't know. It's just, it sounds corny, but yeah, you're not an overshare anymore. You graduated, you're mysterious now. This kind of ties into one of the points I already made, but another pro is that you get to find more out about yourself. You get to know yourself more because you no longer have the input of other people weighing in on how you should feel about a certain topic, whether it's controversial. Just compare our generation now, where we literally grow up online seeing other people and how they live, and just literally growing up online versus people who didn't have to do that, where their life was not projected on a different scale, or their life was just not for other people to see. And I feel like I was made for those times. Like, I honestly feel like I was made for the times like before phones, and I felt like that is the type of life I would have rather liked to live, especially your 20s, where everyone is just doing our own thing. Like, some people are going to school, some people are not going to school, some people are working, some people are getting married, some people are having kids. Like, we're all on a different vibe, and it's so easy to compare ourselves to other people, or to want to be like someone else, or to do something for the sake of it being the cool thing, or do something for the sake of it, for the sake that everyone else is doing it. When you're off of social media, you get to just do things for yourself and find yourself more, and no one else really has a say anymore because you're not sharing it anymore. And I know I sound so repetitive, probably sound like a broken record, but there's something so deep about that. Like, there's something so beautiful about it. Like, you just literally get to live authentically, and you get to find out more about yourself, and you just get to truly be yourself. And I like that about being off of my phone. You no longer are hearing the opinions of other people. Like, you're no longer hearing influencers spoil some breaking news for you anymore. You're no longer hearing people talk talk about a situation before you get to find out on your own, where there are certain controversial topics that you probably didn't realize you're more a part of, whether you're more liberal or more conservative. You really get to figure that out for yourself. You get to figure out, I don't know, 'cause I guess it's more of like, if you want to know more about something, then you search it yourself, so then you gather your own opinion as opposed to opinion just being thrown at you. Like, you know when someone like spoils news for you and you're just like, oh, I didn't even know that, and then you just get to hear how they perceive something, that will completely influence the way you feel about something. And last but not least, you have no more pressure of living your life a certain way. Really emphasis on the pressure. You get to grow up at your own speed. You get to do things that you want to do. If you want to go travel across the world, you can go travel across the world. If you want to stay at home and just work your ass off until you can save up money, you can do that. No one's judging you. No one's looking at you anymore. There's no fishbowl on you. Like, you literally just get to do your own thing, and that's what I hope. Like, I know in my 6-month video I told myself that I was going to stay off social media for 1 year, but I honestly think it's going to be a couple years, because I have found so much growth within myself that I don't think that I would have found if I would have stayed on social media. I feel like social media kind of almost inhibits my growth. Granted that I get so hyper fixated on what other people think about me, and I get so hyper fixated on how people are going to respond to what I have to put out, and I don't feel like that anymore. I feel a lot more confident. I feel a lot more carefree. I just have more self-love. I get to see life in a different way, and I also get to experience life for myself, knowing that it's for myself. Maybe I'm missing out sometimes, but overall, at the end of the day, being on social media has been a really positive impact on my life, and I don't think that I'm gonna get back on anytime soon, because I just want to see where it goes from here, and I want to see myself in the next 5 years and see what happens. Even if within the 5 years, if I do something, I would be completely lying if I said that I did not get on any social media during this past year. I definitely did, because people would send me links and I would have to look at them. Okay, they send them to me, but that's basically all the social media that I would do. It's just me in my own bubble and getting to find myself and getting to see the world for what it is and not what people tell you or how other people perceive it. It's just, I don't know, it's been a really nice journey, and I hope that this video has maybe helped you out, or maybe motivated you to hop on this journey, or maybe the cons were absolutely terrible and you realize that getting off of social media would be detrimental to your mental health and that you should stay on for your sake of a social life. Do you, it's your business. But this is how getting off social media affected me, and I hope you stick along for the journey, because maybe there's gonna be a 2-year update, a 3-year update, who knows. But yeah, getting off of social media, it's been a journey, and my name is Anagrea, and thank you so much for watching. I'm so grateful that you clicked on this video. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more. I'm kind of in a weird place right now where I was posting every single Sunday, but life has gone in the way. I am doing things, and yeah, I hope I covered everything, and I hope that this video was somewhat entertaining, and I hope you stick around. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Okay, this is up close and personal. I have a mustache. Don't look at it, it's fine. But I just wanted to say that I look super shiny and my hair is really frizzy in this video because it's called Southern Humidity, and it is what it is. But I hope you enjoyed watching this video anyway. I look so just frizzy. Like, it's just giving frizzy and shiny. Sorry. I wish I could do better, but I can't control the weather. Sorry.